I'm Robin Birkin, an ex-corporate marketer turned online business owner. I took everything I knew and created a six-figure life coaching business in the margins between nap times and a 9 to 5, and I'm here to share with you how you can do the same. Tune in as I share the raw and unfiltered truths, big lessons, and practical tips to help you build and grow a sustainable, bread-winning business online that is both peaceful and profitable. Here, we dive deep into all things online courses, funnels, audience growth, and so much more. If that sounds like the things you want to learn, then welcome to Signature Online Course Secrets. Let's go.
Okay, so you want to make $250,000 in revenue in just 20 hours per week and within 1 year. If you came to me for an audit and that was the brief, here are the 6 things that I would tell you to do. Let's go. Okay, so number 1, the first thing that I would tell you to do is make a decision in your mind about which one is more valuable to you, time or money. Now, I know if you want $250,000 in 20 hours per week, your time is probably really quite valuable to you. But something that people often don't understand is that if you want to make $250,000 within 1 year, you're going to have to choose one. The reason for this is most people significantly underestimate one thing. And we'll talk about this a little bit later, but it's the amount of leads you need in order to enroll enough people into your program to secure the revenue that you want. It's going to generally look like you'll be advertising or you'll be posting significantly organically, and you're also going to want to make a decision about how much time you have and capacity that you have to spend in delivery. If you have a one-to-one coaching service, of course, that is going to take more time than if you once create a $20 ebook and then just sell it over and over again and there's no delivery. So what you're going to want to do, if you came to me, you wanted to make $250,000 in 20 hours per week, the first and most important thing I would tell you is to make a decision between time and money in the initial instance. Then, the next thing that we would do, and this is part of my framework that I believe is so incredibly important, is that you are going to put together a signature offer. That signature offer is going to become the bread-winning bedrock, the hero of everything that you do in your business, from your brand to your content messaging, to your launching flow, to the primary topic that you build authority on. It becomes everything. And when you have one thing as the hero of your business, it's set at a price point that is financially and time-wise sustainable. It becomes so much easier for your brain, your mental space, your capacity to be able to rinse and repeat, etc. So what you are going to do is essentially have a program that is like well-priced organic blueberries. So organic blueberries are usually $10 at the supermarket. You walk in and all of a sudden they're $1. The first thing you would think is, what's wrong with these raspberries or blueberries? I can't remember which one I said. Versus if they're $7, you'd be like, this is a steal. What you want is something that is at the higher end of the market, but that feels like such incredible value that it's hard for someone to pass it up. What you're going to do is layer that offer, potentially a little bit later on, with either an ascension/premium offer or a continuity offer. So a premium offer might be like one-to-one coaching offer, might be a mastermind on the back end, and a continuity offer might be they finished the program and have the opportunity to continue with you maybe at 3 or 6 months at a time. So you would choose one of those, and typically if you had a premium offer, it might be something that's a little bit less scalable. But because you've got the time leveraged program, your hero signature, It's going to actually allow you to raise those prices of your one-to-one services. So the first thing is you will brainstorm and launch your signature offer. That becomes the breadwinner of your business. If you have all of these other offers, in the initial instance, what we're going to do is retire them, especially the ones that are at the lowest price. Because within 1 year, we want you to become known for the problem/transformation outcome that your signature offer solves. So by having that repeated messaging, that focus in our content and our messaging, that's how we amplify your authority. Only once you're at a really good revenue level for that program, you've then dialed in the big profit maker, the premium/continuity offer, then you can look at kind of adding in more products that will feed into the signature program. But initially, you're going to have this one signature offer and retire any of the other products and services that you have. And I'll let you know that just this one shift and change is probably the one thing that I can change really quickly for people when they come into the mastermind. We brainstorm and iterate that one signature offer and then retire or even just stop promoting the others. You don't need to announce to people that it's gone forever. You just take them off the sales pages, stop talking about them, stop launching them, close the doors on them, and start talking about the signature offer. Just that one thing. It will often significantly increases the profitability of your business, especially when we've then gone through and assessed the sellability, the messaging and the angles of that signature offer as well, and strategically lay it on the premium/ascension offer. So number 3, then what we do is we reverse engineer the numbers and the time. We want to look at, okay, well, how many people do I want to enroll at this price point? What conversion rates am I looking for? And until you actually go through and run a full launch from A to Z, you may not even know what those numbers are. And what we do, let's not compare you to anyone else. Let's put some numbers and some benchmarks for you on that. Then we launch, we give it our best. Then we look at the baseline figures. And there's a phrase that I love in marketing. It's from the old school direct marketers, and it's called beat the control. You only know what the control is after you run the first launch. But number 3 is we reverse engineer the numbers and the time. What does it look like to deliver this? What does my launch runways look like? What are my dates in the calendar? How many times do I need to launch? Plot that all out for $250,000. What do my numbers look like? How many sales do I need to make at a particular price point? Then number 4, this is probably the step that the majority of people miss, don't do, leave to the last, kind of brush under the carpet, and then when they have a failed launch go, oh, fuck. Leads. You need quite a high volume of leads into your business, probably more than you have now, and probably more than you realize. So I generally like to start with a 2% conversion rate. And so we will have a look at, who are the people who have joined this particular launch. So it's not your whole email address. I don't even go with sales page views. I go with, in terms of the launch, and I've asked so many experts, I've had, everybody calculates launch figures differently. This is how I do it. We look at 20% of your existing list opting into this particular launch. And then we look at, how many people do I need in order to reach my goals? And we base it in the first instance generally on 2% and $4 per cost per lead. If you're in business to consumer, you can absolutely get lead magnet leads for way cheaper than that. If you're in business to business, $4 is okay. You can still get better than that. Webinar leads, generally a little bit more. But if we average it out, let's say $4 per lead. And then we look at, how much might I need to spend on Facebook ads? If you don't want to spend that money on Facebook ads, cool. What is the output required to then get that many leads organically based on the results that you get now? And this is where sometimes it's an eye-opener for people because they're like, actually, I don't know how to get those leads organically. And I'm worried about investing in Facebook ads because I tried it once and it didn't work, or I'm, nervous about spending that amount of money. And this is often why many people come into the mastermind, because they have a leads problem in their business and or a sales offer conversion problem. But you need a high volume of leads. So if you have 1,000 people opting in to your launch and you have a 2% conversion rate, that means 20 sales from 1,000 new leads. So leads. How many people are opting into your launch lead magnet and your conversion event, webinar, challenge, whatever it is, and then look at a standard conversion rate? So we go hammer and tong on getting leads. Step number 4 is we launch. And then we get the baseline, and then we launch again and try to beat the control. And then we get a baseline, and then we launch again and try to beat the control. We select a couple of little bits in the launch that we wish to change. You don't know this unless, number 1, you launch. Number 2, you gather the data and do a full data-driven debrief. And we go through, where were the, parts of the launch that didn't work properly? Were we let down by the sales page? Was it our email strategy? Were our costs per lead on ads way too expensive? Did we drop the ball on organic output? And we go through and identify a game plan for exactly what we need to do to iterate and pivot. Is it our messaging, our angles, whatever it is, to then beat the control the next time? What you will also do is sell. I find this particularly true for business to consumer. We often think that we don't really need to sell. In today's market, there is a lot of relationship building and true sales that needs to happen in order to get sales. That might look like building relationships, engaging in the DMs, allowing people to get on calls, having opportunities between your launches to really warm people up, and then aggressively selling during your launch. There is no time in a launch to be timid and to not ask for the sale. I see a lot of people as well, they'll be in launch and talking about other things on their Instagram stories that are completely unrelated during their launch. No way. If you are live launching, you need to learn how to sell, how to overcome objections, how to build relationships, and that whole part is missing for a lot of people, but I find it more true for people who are in the business to consumer niche. And then number 6 is we keep iterating. We keep solving little problems. What was the part of this launch that didn't work? What do I need to do differently next time? And this is the exact way that we hit this exact revenue figure in these hours in my business too. We culled the product suite to just one offer. And then I launched and I iterated and I launched and I sold and I got better and better at selling and building relationships. I then looked at, when my messaging there was right, okay, what do we need to do to make re-signing in the mastermind an absolute no-brainer? And then I worked at that and I worked at that and I launched again and I launched again. I focused on lead generation and building back up an email list of thousands of people in order to be able to reach my revenue goals. So if you want to get to 250,000 in 20 hours per week in just 1 year, the questions that I have for you are, number 1, do you know your data in your benchmarks? Have you been measuring anything? Have you just been throwing shit at the wall? Do you have too many offers and there's too many moving parts? No one really knows what you might be the authority in, and maybe your pricing is a little bit off? Are you launching again quickly? Launching, getting the data, and then launching again. So until you get this product working in the way that you want to. Momentum and speed are so incredibly different, so incredibly important. And do you know how to sell? Selling is not posting on Instagram. Selling is about relationships and conversions and busting objections. So that is what we have for you in today's podcast episode. If you would like my help to build a business like this, of course, I would love to see you apply to work with me in the Peace and Profit Mastermind. DM me on Instagram at Robin Birkin and we can chat about everything that is included in the mastermind and how I might support you in your unique goals and products and niche in order to achieve that as a revenue goal for your business. Have the best day. Bye.
Another episode on the books. If you'd like to continue the conversation and get more super savable tips, come and find me on Instagram at Robin Birkin. Otherwise, make sure you're subscribed and I can't wait to see you next week.